So we have seen that there is the other kind of program which is called recursive programs. So recursive model is, if I have a function a and if the size of the input is n, in order to solve this problem I'll call a function, again the same function with something like n by 2 or again n by 2, something like this written, which means a function calling itself is called recursion, and whenever such a function is given, the way in which you have to analyze the time complexity is very much different from the way we used for iterative functions. The reason is there is nothing to count here. That is why we write something called as recursive functions and then we try to analyze them. So how do we write it is, in order to solve a of n, let us assume that time taken is t of n. Okay. Now how is that time split up is, first of all we are trying to do some comparison here, something if condition. Let us assume that for if condition time taken is some constant, and then we are going to find out on t of n, this a on n by 2 and again a on n by 2, and then we are summing up. So there is some constant time involved for this if condition and for this addition, therefore some constant time plus we are calling a of n by 2 two times, which means 2 times, if for t of a of n time taken is t of n, then for a of n by 2 time taken will be t of n by 2. Okay. So this is how we should write the recursive functions, and then we should try solving these recursive functions. So one way how we could solve the recursive function is, I'll take an example and I'll show you. There are various ways, I'll take some examples and I'll show you this. See, one way of solving this function is, assume that the function is like this: a of n, if n is greater than 1, then return a of n minus 1, something like this, which means if you assume that time taken for t of a of n is t of n, then that time is actually some constant time for this comparison, and after that constant time taken to solve the problem on n minus 1 inputs, which means you can write it like this: the recursive equation will be t of n equal to some constant time, let us say 1, we could represent the constant time using 1 or c, it doesn't matter. Okay. And then after this the time will be taken to solve this. If time taken to solve this is t of n, then the time taken to solve a of n minus 1 will be t of n minus 1, isn't it? Now how to solve it is, one way is called back substitution. So we have one method which is called back substitution. I'll show you that. So this method can be applied for all the any model of the problems, but the problem with this method is it is somewhat slow. Let me solve it. So t of n equal to 1 plus t of n minus 1, right? Then what will be t of n minus 1? If I substitute in place of n minus 1, then I get 1 plus t of n minus 2. Why? In place of n minus 1 I am substituting n minus 1. And now what will be t of n minus 2? In order to find out t of n minus 2, in place of n you substitute n minus 2. Then I get t of n minus 2 equal to 1 plus t of n minus 3. Correct? Let me call it equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. Now you substitute equation number 2 in equation number 1. Then what do we get? T of n equal to 1 plus, I am substituting equation number 2 in equation number 1, which means in place of t of n minus 1 I am going to put this entire thing, equal to 1 plus t of n minus 2, that equal to 2 plus t of n minus 2, right? And now in place of n minus 2 I am going to substitute this entire thing, t of n minus 2, I am going to substitute this. Then what do we get? 2 plus 1 plus t of n minus 3, right? That equal to 3 plus t of n minus 3. So we can go on like this, and finally you are going to get k plus t of n minus k. Okay, so this is what you are going to get finally. So if k, then we are going to get k plus t, t of n minus k. Then where do you want to stop it? When are you going to stop it? So see the algorithm when it is going to stop. So this equation t of n equal to 1 plus t of n by 2, t of n equal to 1 plus t of n minus 1 is valid only when n is greater than 1, isn't it? So this is valid when n is greater than 1. Then what happens if n becomes 1? N is going to start from a very large number and it is going to gradually decrease. According to this algorithm, it is going to gradually decrease, and at some point it is going to reach 1. Therefore, whenever it reaches 1, we are simply going to stop, which means we will just do the comparison, this one, and whenever it is 1, we are going to stop, right? So this is called anchor condition or base condition or stopping condition, which is going to stop the recursion. Now this one will stop. If you want to eliminate it, then you should get t of 1 here. If I have to get t of 1 here, then n minus k has to become 1, which means n minus k has to become 1. Then for what value of n minus k will become 1? Then for a value of n equal to, or for what value of k, this n minus k will become 1. For k equal to n minus 1, this value will become 1, which means in place of k I am going to write n minus 1. So on, in place of k I am going to write n minus 1 plus t of n minus 1. Then what do we get? N minus 1 plus t of 1, that equal to t of 1, we already know that it is 1. Therefore it is n minus 1 plus 1, that equal to n. Therefore t of n equal to n. You can even write it as order of n. This is the answer. This is called back substitution. So just recollect what we have seen. Now if there is an algorithm which depends on the input size of n, then I am writing it in terms of input size of n minus 1. Then I am using a method. After writing this recursive equation, how did I write the recursive equation? Let us assume that time taken to solve an instance or a problem of input n is t of n. Then how is that time split up? It is actually the time taken to compare, which means some constant time, and then to return, which is some constant time, plus time taken to solve n minus 1, t of n minus 1, right? And you should even find out the base condition. Why? Because that is where the function is going to stop. Base condition is when n equal to, let us say 1. When n equal to 1, it is going to return 1, right? Then what did I do? I kept on back substituting. In place of t of n minus 1, I substituted this. In place of t of n minus 2, I substituted this. So we could go on like this, and finally I got the answer to be n. So which is also order of n. Okay, we shall see one more example. Let's see one more example for back substitution. Let us say some algorithm is given, and after converting it to recursive equation, later when we see the algorithms, I will even show you how to convert it to recursive equation. But for now, just consider that already recursive equation is given, and the recursive equation is like this. Time taken to solve a problem of n instances is, just assume that some n plus t of n minus 1, which means time taken to solve a problem on n instances is n time taken plus time taken to solve remaining n minus 1 elements. The algorithm is run on n minus 1 elements. Let us say this is when n is greater than 1 and that equal to 1 or some constant time. C or constant, it doesn't make any difference. And n when n is equal to 1. Okay. So how to solve it is again the same method. So if I have to substitute this, I should know what is the value of t of n minus 1. In order to find out t of n minus 1, in place of n you substitute n minus 1. So what do I get? In place of n, if I substitute n minus 1 in place of n, then I am going to get, in place of n, n minus 1 plus in place of n, n minus 1, which means it is n minus 2. Okay. Now t of n minus 2. Why? Because I got n minus 2. So if I want to find out t of n minus 2, in place of n you substitute n minus 2. Then what do we get? N minus 2 plus t of, in place of n you substitute n minus 2. Then we get t of n minus 3, right? So let me call this equation 1 this equation 2, and this is equation 3. So keep on substituting the equations with higher numbers in equations with lower numbers, right? So let us say I want to substitute equation number 2 in equation number 1. Then what do we get? If I substitute 2 in 1, which means already 1 is t of n equal to n plus t of, let me write it here, t of n equal to n plus t of n minus 1. Okay, now that equal to, in place of n minus 1 I am going to substitute this one, n plus, in place of t of n minus 1, this one, right, n minus 1 plus t of n minus 2, that equal to, in place of n minus 2 I am going to substitute this one, n plus n minus 1 plus, in case of n minus 2, which means this one, n minus 2 plus t of n minus 3, that equal to n plus n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus so on plus n minus k plus t of n minus k plus 1. How did I write this? Just see. So I am just following the sequence, right? So if it is n minus 3, n minus 2 here, then it is followed by n minus 3. Similarly, if it is n minus k, then it will be followed by n minus k minus 1. So I am just writing it in a sequence. Now when is it going to stop is, we have to eliminate this t completely. I have to write t of n only in terms of n. I don't want to write it in terms of t. How can I eliminate this t? By using the base condition. What is the base condition? T of n equal to 1 when n equal to 1, which means if this entire term could be made 1, then this entire t could be eliminated. So what I am going to do is n minus k plus 1, this entire term has to be 1. If this entire term has to be 1, then what should be the value of k? That is what I wanted. Then n minus k minus 1 equal to 1. That implies k equal to n minus 2. So for a value of k equal to n minus 2, I'll get here as t of 1 and I could stop it. Therefore I'm going to substitute k equal to n minus 2 here. Then what happens? N plus n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus so on plus, in terms of this k I am going to substitute n minus 2, n minus 2 plus, in terms of k I am going to substitute n minus 2, t of n minus 2 plus 1. Then this entire thing is going to become 1 and this entire thing is going to become 2. So what do we get here? N plus n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus so on plus 2 plus 1. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on plus n. Then what is it? N into n plus 1 by 2, sum of first n natural numbers, right? So this can even be written as, always remember, whenever I have a polynomial of function of like this, n plus k to the power m, then what is the most significant term in this? N power m. So don't worry about the constants. Then we could always write it is order of n power m. Then what is the most significant term in this? It is n square. Therefore I could always write order of n square. So the time complexity for this problem is turned out to be order of n square. How did we get this? By back substitution. Okay, we shall see other method. Now we shall see the next method called recursion tree method. Using this method also we could solve some of the recursive equations, not all, I mean some of them could be solved. So like this, if the problem is like this, the method is this, recursion tree method. Recursion tree method. See, I am going to tell you all the methods available, but then in exam we are going to use a theorem called Master's theorem. But anyways, it is worth knowing that there are all these methods. You might come across some interview questions in this. So assume that the time complexity is t of n equal to 2t of n by 2 plus c, which means in order to solve a problem with n inputs, the time taken will be some constant time plus 2 times, again the problem is going to be reduced to a problem of inputs n by 2, that to 2 times, right? So or you could think of it like this, if I do a c amount of work I could produce two problems with smaller sets of inputs, and each input size is reduced to n by 2. Okay, and always there should be a anchor condition. So let us say this condition is valid when n is greater than 1, and when n equal to 1, when we touch 1, then it is constant amount of work. Then how could we solve this question is, so T of n, if I do constant amount of work, I can break the problem into two smaller problems, each of size n by 2 and n by 2, right? And at this level, if I do constant amount of work at this point, if I do constant amount of work again, I'll be able to break the problem into two instances, each of size T of n by 4 and T of n by 4, right? And similarly the same way here, if I do some constant amount of work C, I could break the problem into two instances, T of n by 4 and T of n by 4, right? And again at this level, if I do some constant amount of work, we could break the problem into two instances, T of n by 8, T of n by 8. The same thing happens here. If I do constant amount of work here, C, I could break the problem into two instances, T of n by 8 and T of n by 8, right? Same thing will happen here. If I do a constant work, I'll be breaking it into T of n by 8 and T of n by 8. And again, if I do a constant work like this. Okay. Now, just observe at every level how much work is done and how long are we going to go. So, we are definitely going to stop it whenever we reach T of 1, right? T of 1, T of 1, T of 1. Whenever we reach this T of 1, we are going to stop, right? Now, how much work is done at this level? C work. How much work is done, total work, amount of work done in this level? 2 into C. How much total work is done at this level? C plus C plus C plus C, which is 4 into C. Now how much amount of work is done at this level? 8 into C, right? So at the last level, how much work is done? See, when it is T of n by 8, the work done is 8C, isn't it? At the last level, what is it? How can you write it in n by something? If I had to write T of n in n by something, how can I write it? T of 1 is nothing but T of n by n, right? So when it is T of n by 8, the total work done is 8C. When it is T of n by 4, the total work done is 4C. When it is T of n by n, the total work done at this level will be NC, right? So if I add up the total work done, what do we get is C plus 2C plus 4C plus so on plus n into C. So pull out C as common, then what do I get? 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus so on plus n. Now assume that n equal to 2 power k. So it is not going to hurt our result, or it is not going to change anything. Just by assuming that n is a power of 2, we could actually do the answer in a easier way. Simply, it is just a simplification. There is no harm in doing this, in this assumption. Therefore, assuming that n is a power of 2 power k, then I'll get this as a GP, isn't it? GP 1, 2, 4, 8, so on 2 power k, where common difference is 2 and the number of terms are k plus 1. This is 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, so on 2 power k. Therefore, total number of terms is k plus 1 and the common difference is c. Then what is the formula for this? A into, what is A? Initial one, A into R is common difference, 2 power k. K means total number of terms. Here it is k plus 1 minus 1 divided by R minus 1, that equal to C into 2 to the power k plus 1 minus 1. So we have already seen that 2 power k is n. Then what is 2 power k plus 1? 2n. Therefore it is C into 2n minus 1. So that is the time complexity. So time complexity is C into 2n minus 2. which you can also write it as order of n. So that is the time complexity taken by this we got from this equation. Okay, so we shall see one more example using this recursion tree. See this one more example. T of n equal to 2 into T of n by 2 plus n, which means if you do a work of n, work which is proportional to n, if T of n, then the work has to be n. Then we are going to divide the problem into two sub problems, and each problem is of size n by 2. Okay, and this equation is valid when n is greater than 1, and when n equal to 1, the time taken is 1, which means constant amount of time. So let's see the tree method for this. So T of n is, if I do n work, then the problem is going to be divided into two sub problems, each of size n by 2 and n by 2, right? And now what about T of n by 2? T of n by 2 is 2t n by 4 plus n by 2. That is important. See, T of n by 2 is 2t n by 4 plus n by 2. So we are not going to do n work at every node. We are going to do work which is actually equal to this number, which means if it is T of n by 2, we are not going to do n work there. We are going to do only n by 2 work, because we got the equation to be n by 2. Now if I do n by 2 work, then I am going to split the problem into two parts, and first problem is T of n by 4 and T of n by 4, and again this is also same, n by 2 T of n by 4 and T of n by 4, right? And now if I am going to do this one, again n by 4 work has to be done, and n by 4 work has to be done, and n by 4 work has to be done, n by 4 work, so on. We are some way going to reach T of 1, right? So somehow we are going to reach the T of 1 at the last level, right? So at every level, let's see the total amount of work done. So what is the total amount of work done here? N. What is the total amount of work done here? N by 2 plus n by 2, which is n. Here also n by 4 into 4, which is n. So here we will get the number of leaves, n leaves, and every leaf is going to have a work of 1, because T of 1 is 1 and we have n such leaves, therefore the total work done is n. Now what is the total amount of work is? We have to add all these n's, right? So now the question is, how many such n's are there, or how many levels are there? Let's see how many levels are there. We know that at every level work done is n, then the total work done is n into total number of levels. Now we have to count the total number of levels. Let's see the way in which this the tree is shrinking or tree is growing. Initially it is n. I can write n by 2 power 0, and then it is n by 2 power 1. This is first level, and at second level it is n by 2 power 1, and then it is n by 2 power 2, and then it is n by 2 power 3, so on. We are reaching 1, right? So let us say the last level is n by 2 power k. If we assume that n equal to 2 power k, this is where we are reaching 1. Therefore, how many levels are there? 0, 1, 2, 3, so on k, which means we have k plus 1 levels. If we assume that n is a power of 2, which means n equal to 2 power k, then we had totally 0, 1, 2, 3, so on k, which is nothing but k plus 1 levels. If we have this k plus 1 levels, totally k plus 1 levels, right? So if you are having this k plus 1 levels, then what is k in terms of n? So we already know that k equal to log n. Apply log on both sides, then we get k equal to log n. Now in case of k, if you substitute log n, then the total number of levels is log n plus 1 is the total number of levels, and at every level we have seen that work done is n. Therefore the total work done is n into log n plus 1, out of which the leading term is n into log n. Therefore the time complexity is n log n. So for this problem the time complexity is n log n, right? So that is how this recursion tree method works. We shall see one more example.